All right, everybody, starting your own business, maintaining your own business, and growing your own business, it's a struggle. All three parts is a big struggle. But I'll tell you this, if you're looking at starting a career in the photography industry, you want your own business, your own studio, your own everything, one of the biggest misconceptions that I find people have is they think, okay, location. I have to have this metropolis, I have to be in this large city, this booming area. That could not be any farther from the truth. I live in a town of about 4,000 people, Landis, North Carolina. About the most exciting thing that happens around here every day is we get about 35 trains that come right through the center of town. That's about the most exciting thing that happens. So, you don't have to be in a large metropolis. We've been fortunate enough to build this business and grow this business and to maintain this business over the past 10 to 11 years, and we're continuing to grow every year in this small town. But this is key. You have to have some surrounding growth. Small town, surrounding growth. So you don't have to go into a high rent district. Think about your costs of everything. All right, that's another big misconception or a big problem that people have, as they think, well, I've got to have everything that I could possibly need for this business for the rest of my life, and I have to buy it right now. No, that's not it. You need a camera and a light source. That's it. Well, maybe a computer would help too. Forgot about that one. With those three things, you can be as successful as you want to be to get started. Don't go out and buy everything that you think you possibly could ever need, because then you're going to go broke, and you don't want all that pressure. So remember, when you're looking at a location, go small. Don't go into that high rent district. Take it easy. Crawl before you walk. All right, so once your business is up and running, the worst possible thing that you can do is to mound yourself with tons of expenses. Because the more expenses you have, obviously the more you're going to have to work, and the more you're going to have to work to cover those expenses just to get to a break-even part, you're going to really start to hate your job. And you can't do your best work when you hate your job. So every year, even though we've been in business for a number of years, every year we're always looking at ways that we can cut costs but deliver the same product. And each year that is possible, but remember, please don't get yourself so wrapped up in these large expenses that you start to decline and you're not enjoying your work. You don't even want to go home anymore because you don't even like your home life. Everything turns into a negative. So before you buy it, make really, really good and sure that you need it. Don't frivolously spend your money on equipment and things that you really, really don't need. If you think you need something, wait about 3 months. That'll give yourself ample time to make sure that that's something that you really, really, really need and you're not buying it on impulse. So the 3-month rule. 3 months without it, and then you buy it. And if in 3 months you still feel like you really need it, then you know you really need it. If you're a photographer that's been in business for a number of years and you have a very large studio and your overhead just feels like that it's going to pull you down into a grave, I know you may have been there for a long time, but who's to say you can't restructure and move into something smaller? Do you really need all that space? Do you need all that expense? And what if you're a photographer that is looking to go into a retail space, but you think, I've got to have this large studio in order to make it? That's not necessarily true either. Now, we have a large studio here in this small town, and the reason we have a large studio space is because everything was cheaper here. It's a depressed economy. It's not the best around here. So we're able to maximize our space for very little money. We have a large indoor area, a large outdoor area, so it makes shooting a lot of fun. I don't have to travel all around trying to find locations, so that does make it fun. But if you're just starting, do you have to have that? No, of course you don't. You can travel to people's homes. You can use what's around you, and that's exactly how I got started. I used whatever there was around me, and I forced myself to be creative with it. So don't think that you always have to have the best of the best, the biggest studio. You don't have to have all that. Most of it's going to come from here, but most of it's going to come from here. So be smart and never give up on it. If you're struggling and you've been in business for years and years and years, just because things are changing doesn't mean that the end is near. It just means you need to restructure a little bit. You need to look around, see what's working in the world, what's not working, and just don't put all your eggs in that one basket. But I will tell you, photography is changing. This industry is changing every single day. So either you change with the industry or you kind of become a part of the past. So get it in gear and let this year be the year of change and be the change that you want to see both in your business and in your life.